Let's get the fuck out of here!
Hello, this is 100 Films and Other Stuff, a countdown of my favourite 100 films and occasionally other stuff. At 99 is Martin Brest Beverly Hills Cop, starring Eddie Murphy. I first saw Beverly Hills Cop when I was about 8 at the now demolished Cinema City in Perth. I can't remember how many times I'd been to the cinema previously, but seeing Beverly Hills Cop for the first time was like nothing I had ever experienced. Up until that point in my life, I understood the cinema-going experience to be one of quiet, profound contemplation. When I saw Beverly Hills Cop, the audience clapped and even cheered when the baddies got their comeuppance. It was an odd yet wonderful experience, and like this opening truck chase scene, it is etched in my memory. With this one movie, Eddie Murphy had made a fan for life, who has become a frustrated fan for life. As an 8-year-old, I was a little wet behind the ears when it came to film narrative, and more specifically, the formula of an action cop drama. Suffice it to say, Beverly Hills Cop has an angry police chief who likes to scream.
Is that fucking Foley in here?
All right, there's Todd. It's showtime, okay?
Hey, boss, I know what you're gonna say, but
You mind telling me where the fuck you come off going undercover without authorization from me? What the fuck is this all about? You wanna play some fucking bullshit cowboy cop? Go do it in somebody else's precinct.
Don't you wanna hear my side of the story?
What's your fucking side of the story?
And give the kind of warnings to our hero that sound terribly familiar.
You got great potential, but you don't know every fucking thing. And I'm tired of taking the heat for your ass. One more time, you're out on the street. Do you understand me?
Boss, let me tell
Do you understand me?
Beverly Hills Cop also has the impeccably dressed, by-the-book, bumbling police detectives Rosewood and Taggart who, quell surprise, are the antithesis of Axel Foley. Sure, it seems cliched now, but in the 80s it was genuinely fresh and interesting.
Jesus Christ! You almost gave me a heart attack.
What are you guys doing here so late?
Beverly Hills Cop was a continuation of Murphy's great work in 48 Hours, which essentially got the cop buddy film genre rolling. If studio execs had any doubts about the financial viability of the genre, Beverly Hills Cop put those doubts to bed. The doubts were probably justified because prior to the 80s, cop movies were, on the whole, quite dour and serious. It does not mean that they were bad, just that Beverly Hills Cop was a significant shift in tone.
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. But Ian, this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
And audiences enjoyed the shift in tone, because we got scenes like this.
I see you look at this base.
Yeah, I was wondering how much something like this went for.
$130,000.
Get the fuck out of here!
No, I cannot. It's serious because it's very important base.
Have you ever sold one of these?
Sold it yesterday to a collector.
Get the fuck out of
It's
here!
serious. I said it myself.
With the success of Beverly Hills Cop, soon a plethora of cop buddy movies would follow with their odd couple partners, witty one-liners, and over-the-top screaming police captains. All the good ones, and even the bad ones, are indebted to Eddie Murphy and Beverly Hills Cop.
Gun! Gun!
Raj, meet your new partner.
I'm too old for this shit.
Can you put this in a good spot? All this shit happened last time I parked here. Thank you.
The script for Beverly Hills Cop had been doing the rounds in Hollywood since the late 70s, and it was originally a comedy. When it was finally set for production, Sylvester Stallone was attached to star. But Stallone wanted it to be a more traditional action film, with what one can only imagine, more explosions and less wit. He left the project, but was inspired by the script to make that laugh-a-minute masterpiece, Cobra.
America. There's a burglary every 11 seconds. An armed robbery every 65 seconds. A violent crime every 25 seconds. A murder every 24 minutes. And 250 rapes a day.
I'm looking for Victor Maitland.
You realize that this is
Sly's loss was our gain. The original script returned and they signed Eddie Murphy 4 weeks prior to production. Murphy was perfect because his humour and charisma softened the film and also allowed the other characters to be more comical. He provided the perfect balance for the narrative and turned seemingly mundane scenes into something quite special.
Tell him that Ramon went to the clinic today and I found out that I have herpes simplex 10. And I think Victor should go check himself out with his physician to make sure everything is fine before things start falling off on the man.
Beverly Hills Cop is not a masterpiece. There is a one-dimensional bad guy who makes some very silly decisions and some rather clunky exposition. But the humour, some wonderful action scenes and the rapport between all the main characters and not so main characters are a joy and is what draws me back to this movie time and time again.
And Rosemont, into a gross dereliction of duty, had a striptease establishment?
It's Rosewood, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is this the gentleman who ruined the buffet at the Harrow Club this morning?
Yes, sir.
I just bet you are the pride of your department in Detroit. Lieutenant, I'd like to see you in your office.
Yes, sir.
Is this the man who wrecked the buffet at the Harrow Club this morning?
Lower your voice, for Christ's sake.
What, can the guy hear me through the wall?
Yes, he can.
And what can one say about Eddie Murphy? It may be difficult for millennials to fathom, but Eddie Murphy in the 80s was funny. He was leave you in stitches, make you laugh till you cry, funny.
You ever like sometime, right, you get on that toilet and when you shit, that water splash up on your ass? Don't that make you mad, right? You know what really make me mad is when shit come halfway out your ass, then go back up in that motherfucker. Right? Why does shit be teasing your ass, right? Just get the fuck out, right? You know what really bothers me is when you be straining for a long time, right? And one little pebble shit come out, right? Be some shit this big, right? Well, push your head up your asshole and say, that's all the shit I'm gonna get, motherfucker. You know what really make me mad? When your ass don't cooperate with you and clench up and break the shit in half. And you be mad as a motherfucker too, because you know you got to wipe your ass for like 5 hours and shit, right? Use 12 rolls of toilet paper on that motherfucker.
His star has certainly waned. The good movies and those moments of genius that were so frequent in the 80s have become decidedly infrequent over the last 20 years, though his performance in Bowfinger is one truly notable exception.
Would you be willing to show your naked rear end in a movie?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. This is hard.
Just one more question.
Perhaps mainstream success was the worst thing that could have happened to him, because he has become safe and uninspiring. He also has just made some very bad movies. Yet I still watch his new releases and wait to be inspired again like I was when I was an 8-year-old. Perhaps I'm a glutton for punishment, or maybe...
Is it in fact unfair to criticize a formerly great artist for his latter-day sins? Is it better to burn out than to fade away?
I think I know what Eddie would say to that.
Fuck you, and fuck you. Who's next?